Hello everyone, thank you for joining our webinar. Welcome to Group Third webinar. In this webinar, we want to explore more about Indofood Company. Alright, now I'm going to tell you the members of Group 3. The first one is Rosiana Inge Pratiwi as moderator, Fajrina Aura Gracelin, Aminatul Zuhriah, and Islam Hafazevich Mishif as presenter, Ariful Sukron as editor, Resti Adelia Nursabila, and Hafid Nur Rahman as scriptwriter. And for all those members, we have one leader or director. He is Muhammad Alfi Ramdan. That's the introduction of our group. For the next, I will leave it to the moderator. Rosiana Inge Pratiwi, the time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome everyone to the group third. Before we start, I would like to check the audio. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Thank you all of finding and visiting this webinar. How are you today?
I'm fine, Miss.
I'm great. Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this webinar is divided into two sessions, namely explanation, question, and answer. If you have any question during the presentation, please type into the chat box in your Zoom. I will bring them up during the presentation and we'll also have time for question at the end. Well, in this webinar, we would like to explore more about Indofood Company. Before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Rusiana Pratiwi. I'm the President Director at Indofood Company, and I'm so excited to be your moderator today. Next, we have the first presenter. She is Fajrina Aura Grishalin. She is the Human Resources Manager of Indofood Company. Then, the second presenter, she is Aminatul Zuhriah. She is the Director of Finance of Indofood Company. And the last presenter, he is Islam Hafizivik Mishif. He is the Marketing Manager of Indofood Company. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have 5 units to be delivered for today's webinar. Please look at your screen. For Unit 1 and Unit 2, the company history and the company organization will be delivered by Fajrina Aura Grishalin. While for the next point, Unit 3 and 4, the product and the location will be delivered by Aminatul Zuhriah. And the last point, Unit 5, the marketing strategy will be delivered by Islam Hafizivik Mishif. Well, without further ado, let's start with the explanation. The first presenter, she is Fajrina Aura Grishalin. She is a human research manager who has contributed greatly to the rapid development of human researches in the company. Well, Fajrina, I hope you are ready. The screen is yours.
Thank you, moderator. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited to explain to you about this company. So before we started, I'm going to tell you about 2 points. That is the company history and the company organization. Now, let's get started with the company history first. So it all started on August 14, 1990. The consumer company PT Panganjaya Inti Kusuma was founded by conglomerate Sudono Salim. But then, 4 years later, in 1994, PT Panganjaya Inti Kusuma changed its name to PT Indofood CBP Sukses Makmur Tbk, which later became the main pillar of the Salim Group's business. The company is actually growing fast. For example, in 1994, Indofood made an important step in conducting an initial public offering or IPO of shares on the Indonesia Stock Exchange. PT Indofood CBP Sukses Makmur Tbk raised 130 billion rupiah through its stock IPO. After listing on the Indonesia Stock Exchange, Indofood has further expanded its consumer business by running a business from upstream to downstream. Indofood then integrated its business with the giant wheat milling company Bogasari in 1994. In 1997, Indofood expanded its business integration in the fields of plantation, agribusiness, and distribution by acquiring 80% shares of companies engaged in plantation, agribusiness, and distribution. In 2005, Indofood entered the shipping business through the acquisition of shipping company that is PT Pelayaran Tahta Bahtera. Next, in 2007, Indofood listed the agribusiness group shares on the Singapore Stock Exchange and placed new shares. In 2008, Indofood acquired 100% shares of Drayton Pte Ltd, which effectively owns 68.57% shares in PT Indolacto, which is a leading dairy company. In 2010, PT Gizindo Prima Nusantara, PT Indo Sentra Pelangi, PT Indo Biskuit Mandiri Makmur, and PT Cipta Kemas Abadi were fully merged into PT Indofood CBP Sukses Makmur, completed the internal restructuring of the CBP Group through the transfer of ownership of a subsidiary in the CBP Group with a total ownership of less than 100% to ICBP, and conducted an initial public offering followed by the listing of ICBP shares on the Indonesia Stock Exchange on October 7, 2010. It increased ownership in Paksari Pte Ltd by 10% to be 100% owner. In 2011, PT Salim Ipo Mas Pratama, a direct and indirect subsidiary of the company, conducted an IPO followed by listing its shares on the IDX. Next, in 2013, Indofood Company completed the acquisition of PT Pepsi Cola Indo Beverages, a company that produces Pepsi-branded soft drinks, 7-Up, and so on. The acquisition was made by PT Indofood Asahi Sukses Beverage and PT Asahi Indofood Beverage Makmur, which are 51% and 49% owned by ICBP, respectively. In 2014, Indofood Company entered the soft drink business called Indofood Asahi. ICBP acquired assets related to bottled water business activities, including the Club Brand, and PT Indolacto completed the acquisition of 100% shares in PT Danone Dairy Indonesia, as well as the purchase of trademarks and industrial designs related to milk-white products. Since its establishment, Indofood has succeeded in building various brands on a global scale. One of the Indofood's largest and most successful business is the instant noodle division. Indofood's instant noodle business has even become one of the largest in the world. In 2018, Indofood instant noodle division sales reached more than 25 trillion rupiah and continues to grow every year. The revenue contribution from the instant noodle business is also one of the largest, reaching 34% of Indofood's total revenue in 2018. Indofood is a witness to the development of the Indonesian customer industry. Indofood's growth in financial performance is also a reflection of the continued increase in people's purchasing power from time to time. I think that's enough from my explanation about Indofood company history. And then next, we're gonna move to the second point, which is the company organization. Next, we will move to the second point, which is company organization. The organizational structure is a description of the functions and responsibilities of duties and obligations, as well as the powers that exist in the company so that personnel can easily carry out their activities to achieve predetermined goals. The organizational structure used at PT Indofood CBP Sukses Makmur Tbk is the line and staff organizational structure. Starting from the Board of Commissioners, the position of President Commissioner is occupied by Manuel B. Pangilinan, who has served from 2004 until now. And the position of Commissioner is occupied by Benny S. Santoso, who has served from 1994 until now. Then, from the Board of Directors, the position of President Director is occupied by Antoni Salim, who has served from 2009 until now, and the position of Director is occupied by Franciscus Welirang, who has served from 2015 until now. Then there is the Audit Committee, which is chaired by Utomo Josodirjo, who is an independent commissioner who has served from 2004 until now. And from the Nomination and Remuneration Committee, as well as chaired by Utomo Josodirjo, who is an independent commissioner who has served from 2004 until now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's my presentation. I return back the screen to the moderator. Moderator, please.
Thank you, Fajrina, for the presentation. Now, for the next point, will be delivered by the second presenter, Aminata Zuhriya. For Aminata, the time is yours.
Thank you, moderator. Hello, everyone. Now I want to continue my friend's presentation. And similar to the previous presenter, I'm going to tell you two units, that is unit 3 and 4, the products and the location. Now let's get started with the product first. The group manufactures and markets a wide range of consumer branded products that provide convenient solutions for consumers throughout their life journey. Many of its product brands are market leaders and top position in their respective categories, earning the trust and loyalty of millions of consumers for decades. Our products are divided into six divisions, namely, for one is noodles. The noodles division is one of the world's largest instant noodles manufacturers and the market leader in its industry in Indonesia. The division produces and markets instant noodles products in various brands and formats that serve different market segments. Indomie, the flagship brand, has stayed top of mind among consumers both domestically and internationally. Pop meal leads the cup noodle category. Sarim glass has grown steadily since its launch in 2015 to take second place in the mug noodle segment. Supermi, Sarimi, and Sakura are equally entrenched as familiar household brands. The division also produces egg noodles under the brands Mie Telur Cap Tiga Ayam and Sakura. And then the second product is dairy. The dairy division is operated by PT Indolacto, an indirect subsidiary of ICBP and one of Indonesia's leading producers of ultra-high temperature or UHT milk, sterilized milk, sweetened condensed creamer or ICC, pasteurized liquid milk, multi-cereal milk, milk flavored drinks, powder milk, ice cream, and butter. The division is recognized for its distinguished brands and quality products. Indomilk, which has a 50-year heritage in Indonesia, is the division's flagship brand for milk products. Other brands include Cap Enak, Creamer, Liga Sapi, Indomilk Kids, and Milk Was for milk products, Indo Ice Cream for ice cream, and Orchid Butter for butter. And then the third is snack foods. The snack foods division comprises two business units, snack foods and biscuits. The snack foods unit is a GV company with Frito-Lay Netherlands holding BV, a PepsiCo affiliate, which produces modern and traditional snacks made from potato, cassava, soybean, sweet potato, and corn, as well as various exotic snacks marketed under Citato, Kitela, Lay, Doritos, Cheetos, Jetsi, and Chiki brands. The biscuit unit is solely operated by ICBP and produces a range of biscuit brands targeted at different market segments, such as Wonderland for families, Tutu for children, Canasta for teens and young adults, Trendy for young adults, and Indofood Inti Gandum for mature adults. And for its food seasonings, the food seasonings division is one of the leading producers of culinary products in Indonesia. Its offering which range from soy, chili, tomato sauce, recipe mixes are marketed under Indofood and Indofood Racik brands. The division also manufactures and market cordial syrup under Indofood Phrase brand and instant porridge under the Buburia brand. And then the next is nutrition and special foods. The Nutrition and Special Foods division is one of the leading players in Indonesia's baby food industry. The division produces a wide range of nutritionally balanced specialty foods for infants, toddlers, and children, as well as expectant and lactating mother. Its products include cereals, noodle soups, biscuit, puddings, and rice puffs for infants and toddlers. Cereal snack for children, cereal powder drinks for the whole family, as well as milk products for expectant and lactating mothers. These are marketed under the Promina, Soon, GoFit, and GoWell brands to target consumers across different market segments. And the sixth is beverage. The beverage division is managed by PT Anugerah Indofood Barokah Makmur or IEBM, a subsidiary of ICBP. It produces a wide range of ready-to-drink or RTD teas, packaged water, and fruit-flavored drinks, which are marketed under Ichiocha and Vitamin brands. And the next, we will move to 4 point, which is the location of PT Indofood CBP Sukses Makmur Tbk, or better known as Indofood, is a manufacturer of various types of food and beverage based in Jakarta, Indonesia. PT Indofood CBP Sukses Makmur Tbk also has various branch offices and factories spread throughout Indonesia and in several countries in the world. For example, the instant noodle division, PT Indofood CBP Sukses Makmur Tbk, with its well-known brand Indomie, which has many branch offices and factories spread across major cities in Indonesia, and also expanding its market overseas by exporting its products to Europe, Asian, African, American countries such as Netherlands, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, Canada, and many more. Not only that, Indomie also established factories in several countries such as Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my presentation. I'll return back to the screen to the moderator. Moderator, please.
Thank you, Aminatus, for the presentation. For the next points will be delivered by the third presenter, Islam Hafizovic Mishif. For Mishif, the time is yours.
Thank you, moderator. Hello, everyone. Now I want to continue my friend's presentation, and here I will tell you the last unit, which is Unit 5, the marketing strategy. The tight competition faced by PT Indofood Sukses Makmur Tbk makes the company have to work hard to maintain market share and the company's position as market leader. And one thing that must be considered is the marketing strategy. With so many competitors, people will have many choices of products and make these products compete fiercely to market share. The competition that arises in attracting consumers is possible to be discovered by the foresight of each company by implementing prices, precious marketing strategies that is not easily followed by other companies, with the aim of capturing and meeting the diverse needs of consumers and to gain a large market share in implementing its market strategy. PT Indofood Sukses Makmur Tbk also carries out marketing activities using product price promotion and distribution variables known as the marketing mix 4P. Here is the explanation. The first is product. The target is how to make effort to improve and change product for the better, so that they can affect the usability and satisfaction and attractiveness in large consumer purchasing decisions. Indofood displays branded consumer product consisting of 9 divisions, namely instant noodles, dairy, food seasoning, snacks, nutrition, and specialty food, beverage, wet flour, pasta, and vegetable oils and fats, complete with the product details. Price. In determining prices, Indofood targets two target markets, namely the upper middle class and the lower middle class, to aim for medium to high targets. For example, in the instant noodle division, Indofood uses Indomie as its product. With the instant noodle brand already in possession, Indomie's pricing strategy determined by choosing a price strategy above the average competitor, but also balanced with good product quality. Meanwhile, for the downward target, Indofood launched Supreme and Sarimi, Super Me and Sarimi. And the pricing strategy used is to use the same price strategy as the competitor's average. Likewise, with other divisions, Indofood at least presents 2 or more brands to be marked to different target markets. Thus, Indofood sales will continue to increase due to its wide market reach. Place. Indofood has the widest distribution network in Indonesia, penetrating almost every corner of archipelago. The number of stock points has been aggressively expanded since 2005. So as to provide wider penetration through the supply chain and delivery, stock warehouse are placed in areas that have many retail outlets, including traditional markets, so that each warehouse can serve each geographical area in the shortest possible time. The long distribution channels spread throughout Indonesia make products from Indofood very easy to find in supermarket and grocery stores. This proves that the distribution strategy implemented by Indofood is very successful in meeting market demand and expanding market share. Promotion. Indofood has become a market leader, especially in the Eastern noodle product division. However, Indofood continues to aggressively promote, especially through electronic media, especially television, where many Indonesians have televisions. By mass promotion using attractive advertising, Indofood strives to instill product brands to consumers so that their position is stronger in consumer brand image. Apart from electronic media, Indofood also carries out promotions by making Indomie a sponsor of major events, whether broadcast live on television or not. Indofood also organizes various events and competitions to attract more people and still a good image of the company. For example, Indomie held an event to compose a jingle song for high school students. The event was titled Jingle Dare, which took place on April 24, 2008. Further increase the brand awareness of youth or students regarding Indomie products. Indomie sees teenagers and students as future customers. So since now, Indofood has started to provide some kind of education about Indomie. Well, that's all our presentation, and I will give the screen back to the moderator. Moderator, please.
Okay, all right. Now we have 3 questioners, starting with Ariful Sukron. For Ariful, please ask your question.
Thank you, moderator. My name is Arif Sukron, and my question is, when and under what situation require the company to change the marketing strategy? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ariful Sukron, for the question. Thank you, Ariful Sukron, for the question. Mr. Mishif will answer the question. Mishif, the time is yours.
Thank you, moderator. I will answer questions about when and under what conditions requires the company to change its marketing strategy. Companies must always change their marketing strategies in accordance with the times. For example, in the midst of many fast-growing technology and the proliferation of online stores, companies are required to innovate and keep up with the times by evaluating business strategy. This means following current trends, both growth targets and investment plans, which of course involve technology. Not only fixate on the old style, so consumers do not switch to product from other companies. Apart from being in a time of rapid technological development, companies must also change their marketing strategy when there is a decline in purchasing power. People tend to look for cheaper goods, thus affecting consumption patterns. What used to be expensive is now looking for new channels that offer lower price. When and under such conditions, the company must change its marketing strategy. That's my answer. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your answer, Mishif. Ariful, does he answer your question?
Yes, it's helped a lot. Thank you, Mrs.
Well, Ariful, thank you. Now we will move on to the next question from Resti Adelia Nur Sabila. For Resti, please ask your question.
Thank you, moderator. My name is Resti Adelia Nur Sabila, and my question is, what activities are carried out by the company to meet customer wants? And that's my question. Thank you.
Thank you, Resti Adelia Nur Sabila, for the question. Aminatus will answer the question. Aminatus, the time is yours.
Thank you, moderator. I will answer a question about the activities are carried out by the company to meet customer wants and needs. In meeting customer wants and needs, we have three ways. The first is to be close to customer because whatever products our company offers, it will definitely satisfy customer more if customers don't have to bother themselves to get them. If the company has a team that is able to visit customers or be close to customers, then this is a plus point. Customers will have no trouble getting the product they want, and for the company itself, this can be guaranteed to provide many times the benefits. The second is to accept suggestion and accommodate customer complaints because customer will definitely tell the truth about the products offered by our company. It is true that sometimes they complain about the products offered and seem annoying, but it is preciously with complaints from these customers that the company can find out what the customers want. If it is granted, surely the products offered will be better and have the potential to listen to and accept it. Because this situation can build the company into a better company in the future. That's my answer. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your answer, Aminatus. Resti, does she answer your question?
Yes, she does. Thank you.
Well, Resti, thank you. Now we will move on to the next question from Muhammad Alfi Ramdan. For Alfi, please ask your question.
Thank you for the moderator. My name is Muhammad Alfi Ramdan, and my question is, what are the things that should be noticed from customer? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alfi. Fajrina will answer your question. And for Fajrina, the time is yours.
Thank you, moderator. I will answer the question about things that companies should pay attention to. So there are three things that companies should pay attention to, and I think that all of these components are essential for the company. The first one is understanding customer behavior patterns, and the second one is to know why customers buy, and then the last one is we need to find the secret to selling to them. We need to learn more about customer behaviors, such as what to buy, how often, when, and why. But why those things are important? Those things can become very important because we can use that information for consideration in making marketing decisions. Based on the consumer behavior, there is usually more than one motivating factor to buy. For example, it can happen because of the easy payment terms. It can be one of the determining factors, but it's not enough. We also need to pay attention to the quality and price of goods because at the end, it can also influence the buyer's decision. We need to learn such things as what drives customers to buy, and then we need to look for ways to move forward based on this understanding. Then move to the second one. The next thing that we need to pay attention to is about creating the right research. We can use research as a way to assess customer needs, look at the various aspects that customers use to form their view of us. Sometimes these include components like product quality or maybe the way customer service helps customer problems and also publicity. Apparently, understanding about those things are actually not enough. We also need to carefully study about what image that customers receive. The thing that we need to pay attention to is a question like, is that the image we want to convey? If it doesn't meet with our expectation, then we can develop an action plan to match the image we want with reality. And the last one is loyalty. In this case, we need to see the problem through the customer's perspective. We need to do this method because customers need reasons to be loyal. By doing that, we can figure out what might drive customers to trust and have a loyalty on us. They may expect more than just better quality goods or services. In this case, we need to frequently questioning things like, can you find a way to actively show customers how much we value their transaction? Some loyalty or reward programs have proven successful in many companies. In addition to giving us an advantage, this can make customers loyal to us. So that's all about my answer. I hope it can give a new insight and can be beneficial to others. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your answer, Fajrina. Alfie, does she answer your question?
Yes, she does. Thank you.
Well, that's all our webinar today. Thank you, audience, for your great attention and listening to this webinar. And of course, especially for the presenter, Ms. Fajrina, Ms. Aminatus, and Mr. Mishif, we do appreciate your joining on this webinar and sharing with us your valuable information about the company. So the conclusion is Indofood is a multinational company engaged in the food and beverage sector that has succeeded in penetrating the international market by implementing excellent marketing strategies so that Indofood company products can reap huge profit. As moderator, we thank you once again for your attention. Sorry if there are still shortcomings in this event. Good morning. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.